A man of the cloth needs a crucifix.
My queen, the whole world has been ravaged. They will be facing the same problems as us.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 post-apocalyptic vampire film Bloodthirst. The film is directed by Michael Sue and it stars Costas Mandylor, Tara Reid and Robert Lasardo. Now, as I said, this film is set in a post-apocalyptic future. Vampires are running ravage across the land. There's not many humans left. And Costas Mandylor plays a character called John Shepherd, who essentially is a vampire hunter. And he's out to try and find the Master, played by Robert Lasardo. As he believes if he takes out this Master, it will go a long way to getting rid of this vampire curse. As you would expect, the Vampire Master and the rest of the vampires aren't going to just let this happen. Right, what are my thoughts on Bloodthirst? Well, what doesn't sound cool about a post-apocalyptic vampire film? Sounds cool to me. Poster looks really, really cool. Unfortunately, this is one of those films that kind of lures you into a false sense of security. Because while I don't think this film is a total disaster or a total mess, there are some redeeming qualities here. And namely, the setting and the location is good. You know, it feels post-apocalyptic. But that only really means that they've taken it out and filmed it in a desert somewhere. You know, I don't know, behind a hill in Arizona or something. I don't know, but you know, you do kind of get that vibe. You know, that humanity's struggling to survive and they're scraping by and all that kind of stuff. And it does a reasonable job of projecting that. The vampire effects are decent enough. You know, they're paled up. You know, they've got the teeth and all that kind of stuff. I think some of them make more convincing vampires than others, and they do this nice thing with the voice, and got this like growl going with the vampires, and it all adds to the effect of them being vampires. And some of them come across as fairly sinister, and some of them come across as just plain laughable. Tara Reid, unfortunately, is in the just plain laughable department. Unfortunately, I didn't actually realise it was Tara Reid until I looked at the cast list. She's pretty unrecognisable. She plays like the vampire queen, and yeah, I'm going to be polite and say she doesn't work in this film at all. She's about as menacing as a guinea pig. And there's just this real problem with it, and I don't know if it's through budgetary reasons, because I don't imagine they had a huge budget for this. I think it was made for about $1 million. The vampires are just wandering around in the daytime, and they've tried to get around that by kind of covering them up with like cloaks and goggles. But a lot of them they've got like hoodies over, but the faces are still quite it just don't make sense. And I don't know if it's because they couldn't afford to light it much during the night. I don't know, but it felt like a weird way of filming the vampires. And there's some of the performances here are just not good enough. I mean, they absolutely take you out of the movie. Some of them are so bad, tragically bad, some of them. However, Costas Mandylor and Robert Lasardo in particular kind of hold the film together a little bit. Whatever strands of hope this film has, they kind of are grasping onto it with all their might to try and keep this film going and make it work in whatever way that they can. And all you've really got here with this film is you'll get scenes of vampires killing human survivors, like that are living and try to survive on a farm or in a cabin or whatever, and they'll just kind of round them up like cattle and either turn them which doesn't make any sense to me, because you certainly get the impression that in this film that there is a real shortage of humans now. But this vampire master seems intent on turning pretty much everyone he comes across. Well, there's not much food left anymore. Not many humans left to drink, certainly in this neck of the woods. So it doesn't make much logical sense to me when he's doing it. So yeah, you get them scenes where these vampires are kind of either killing humans or turning humans, and then you get other scenes with Costas Mandylor kind of roaming the world, and then picking up people along the way to kind of help him, and it's just that kind of rinse and repeat until Costas Mandylor comes face to face with the gang of vampires, including the vampire master, by the end of the film. And in between that is lots of pretty poor bad acting, lots of stuff that kind of doesn't make sense, lots of fake blood splurting out of people's mouths when they're pretending to bite someone's neck, and overall pretty dire stuff, if I'm honest. I mean, it had such huge potential, this film. I think they just overstretched themselves with the idea and the concept, and there was, strangely, I think they put too many people in the cast. And what I mean by that is, quite a lot of them just had very little experience in acting, and it showed quite drastically. I think they kind of overstretched themselves, and I think they should have really reined themselves in a little bit, because there's some decent ideas here. It's not overly terrible, some of the effects or anything like that, and the post-apocalyptic future that they're trying to project here, isn't horrific or anything. I just think they missed the ball with this one. I was really quite disappointed, and I wasn't expecting a masterpiece, but I was really hoping for quite a fun vampire flick, and this one for me is definitely below average. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I will of course be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.